What's going on, guys? Cruzin Podcast. We're here with another episode. We saw Spider-Man No Way Home today. We saw it at 3:30. We actually got like one of the first showings for the day at AMC. But man, like when we saw it, by the time we got home, it's a long movie. It's almost 3 hours long. We saw it. This, by the way, is going to be no spoilers for the first section, and then towards the end of the video, towards the end of the podcast, we'll get into spoilers, and we'll let you know when we do. But for right now, it will be spoiler-free. But man, I mean, when we got home, we saw it. We got home, and we literally we didn't even want to talk about it yet. Like, I'm still, like, processing everything. You know what I mean? And we were both kind of talking about that. We got home, and we were like, man, I'm not even ready to talk about this or, like, review it, you know, because I didn't even know how to like express what I just saw. You know, it was just so much, so many emotions. But I guess I'll start off by saying, you know, man, what a like fun, like great experience this was. Just in the sense of a packed theater, getting that experience again. You know, we haven't had something like this, I think, since Endgame.
Yeah.
And, with a packed theater, people cheering and having a good time. And just so fun, man. I feel like the movie really set the bar. It hit it, you know? Because that's one thing we were talking about. We were kind of worried. We're like, man, the expectations are so high. Can they land it, you know? And I feel like they really did. They hit the mark. The movie's fun. It gets dark when it needs to. It gets very emotional. Tom Holland is like, this is his best acting, I think, in the last 3 movies in this trilogy. This is like really good acting by Tom, like really good. Like, I love how this one is just so much about Spider-Man, you know, and what he has to go through. And like, we kind of see more about his character. It's because, you know, one of the issues with the other two is very MCU heavy. So it's, you know, it's either something about Tony Stark or you have Nick Fury there or whatever. But this is really just how does Spider-Man deal with this, you know, and that was great. Obviously, we'll go based off trailers for now, and then we'll let you know when we get into spoilers. But, you know, the villains that are in this, you know, in this multiverse story, we have Dr. Octavius back, Jamie Foxx as Electro, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, which, I mean, he kills it.
Yeah, he's the highlight.
Willem Dafoe kills it. I mean, I think everybody does great.
No, but
Willem
really
Dafoe steals the show. He steals the show. He's so good. Alfred Molina does so good. And it's weird. It's true, like what Chris Stuckman said. He was like, I never thought I'd live in a world where I would see these people back on screen again. Like in the big, you know, like we just thought that was it. That was their era. And the fact that we get to see them again, like all together, is so crazy. So crazy. And it's just hard to talk about this movie without spoilers, but it's so good. Watch it in theaters. Watch it with that packed crowd. I mean, it was cool. It was nice to have that again. I mean, this movie has made in pre-sales alone more than any other movie this year in its full theatrical run. So, like, a movie, its full run in theaters, this has passed all of those movies in just pre-sales. I mean, if you check any time when I've checked, each seat is taken, like full, packed. That was so fun. So fun. I also wanted the acting, all across the board. Jacob, I don't know his last name, who plays Ned. He did really good in this. Ned, yeah. Zendaya was so much better in this one.
She was.
She's a great actress, but I think we always talked about how in the previous 2 films,
she was kind of just like,
her character wasn't there. Like, I wasn't feeling her character.
Didn't do much.
It was very basic. Oh, I'm a millennial. I'm too cool for school. But in this one, she's so good. Like, her character has so much more depth, and her and Tom Holland are really good. I think they were already dating when they were filming this one, because their chemistry in this is really good. So I don't know. When they're smooching. You know what I'm saying?
He's going deep.
Yeah. But no, their chemistry was great. she does really good in this. Like, I loved her character so much more here than the previous two, because again, they gave her more to do than just being this like, oh, I'm cool, I'm a millennial, you know.
Same shit.
Yeah. So that was great. I mean, this movie really just it met the bar, you know, and expectations, because we were worried, you know. But I do think the acting is great. Willem Dafoe is great. There's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack. I mean, this is almost a 3-hour movie. A lot happens in it, and it's just so many. It's a roller coaster. It's just like I honestly loved it. You know, it had its comedy, of course, but it also had its dark moments. It had the emotional moments. I think it took risks. You know, I feel like it did.
There was a few things I did, you know, like now really thinking about it, there's some things that are just a little weird in the story, but the movie's great.
Yeah, and we are gonna see it again.
I do want
very soon.
See it 3 more times.
Yes, because my God, it's so good.
It's so good.
I think this we were talking about this before starting. I feel like this really hit expectations, if not exceeded it, a lot more than Endgame did. Because this is like Spider-Man's Endgame. That's what Tom Holland said, and I can see why. You know, and I feel like this really hit the mark more than Endgame. I remember watching Endgame for the first time. I was like, I
don't like Endgame
because we were very excited. The expectations were high, but they didn't stick the landing with a lot of things in that movie.
I didn't like that.
A lot of things, but here I feel like it's balanced really well. Some people said things about the pacing in the beginning that it felt a little choppy. I didn't think so. I think there's a lot going on in this movie for sure. I think they handled it well.
No, but I can see why.
There's a lot happening.
Because some people, again, I can't go into spoilers,
but I think it was paced like really well. There's obviously a lot going on. It's such a long movie, but I feel like I was able to, you know, keep track of it. Yeah, would we have liked to have seen more things that lead to, you know, him wanting to talk, like in the trailers, talk to Doctor Strange about doing the spell and all that stuff. Yeah, I would have maybe liked to have seen more about like what's that, you know, that life that he was living, you know, because it takes place after, you know, Mysterio in the trailers. Mysterio gives away his identity.
Yeah.
Because that was really interesting, that whole, what his life was like and stuff. And then leading to all this other stuff. And then, you know, and then the movie just takes off from there. But, man, what a great movie, especially in the theater. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Like, it's so worth it. It's, like, so worth it. I feel like it brings out so many emotions for Spider-Man fans. I feel like it doesn't matter what kind of Spider-Man fan you are, like, you're gonna love this movie. The soundtrack was really good too.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that. Again, it got darker, got more cinematic. How
it should be.
Yeah, you know. Again, we get to really see Tom Holland's Peter Parker mature and evolve in this one, as opposed to the other two. The other two were, you know, they're the fun, like, coming of age stories, but this one really, like, he becomes like an adult, you know. And the soundtrack, I think, really represents that. Great soundtrack. I believe Michael Giacchino. I think John Watts has done great, the director of this. Like, this trilogy, they've really, and I think this movie really just, you know, it's all about how you finish, at least for the trilogy, you know, because they're saying this is like his end game, so it's like the end of the Home trilogy, you know. What was it? Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. So, you know, yeah, man. I mean, go watch it if you haven't already. It's a great movie. I was nervous going in because I was so excited. I was like, please. And man, it hit the mark. It really did. It was so much fun, and watching with, you know, packed theater and stuff. Anything else before we kind of like jump into the spoilers? We're still kind of processing it.
I know. It doesn't feel real.
I feel like that's the weird thing. Like, we still feel like we didn't really watch it. It doesn't feel real. It was like kind of surreal. Well, we just like, because there's so much.
It's a lot to take
but it's
in.
also so well done that I was like, Did that really just?
I think
We got to watch it a second time for sure.
I think for me, it was just Green Goblin, and Willem Dafoe killed it.
He does great.
Really killed it. Like his scenes, he was like scary. His voice, the way he was saying his lines, like
he's just perfect for that role.
I don't know, man, he just killed it. It's really hard to get another actor for Green Goblin.
No.
He was just
they nailed it. I feel like they really, really nailed it. And
it's like because like his Green Goblin, he was good in the first like in Tobey's movies, but in this one,
they really brought him out like as much as possible. And I also feel like Tom Holland, like everybody just gave it their A game in this movie, you know, like everybody did so good.
Like you saw Tom Holland like acting chops in this one.
We really did. He did so good.
Yeah,
he did so. Everybody did so good between Jacob, who plays Ned, Zendaya, who plays MJ, all the villains. Everybody just does so good in this. Benedict Cumberbatch does great as well. Everybody gave it their A game. It's still like processing, and we let it a couple hours go by because we just wanted to like sit on it.
It's just a lot,
and it was so much to take in. And I want to watch it again. I want to watch it again this weekend, if we can find tickets to go and see it again.
It's all sold out.
But man, it's so good. Just go watch it. I can't recommend it enough. And watch it in a theater, packed theater. It's a great time. That being said, I mean, we're going to jump into some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you don't want to be spoiled, go watch it. You can come back. If you want to stick around, if you've seen it, we're getting into spoilers right now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, I mean, first things first, spoiler-wise, we got to talk about Tobey and Andrew. It's official. It happened. It happened.
Punch me, I bleed.
And what I loved was that it wasn't in the way that I predicted. You know?
Yeah. I thought they're just going to come in at the end.
And like swinging through or something.
It was like a quick goal, they fight, leave, bye.
And the fact that, the first half of this movie is Peter with the villains. Sandman, Lizard, Electro, Doc Ock.
Because the villains, they're not really like, Sandman's not bad, he's good.
Yeah.
Like he was just confused.
And I loved seeing him. Octavius is so good in this, helping him, seeing him interact with Norman Osborn, and that line, he's like, "Yo," like that callback. I'm something of a scientist myself, or I can maybe get you a job at Oscorp in my universe. Or that's cool because you're seeing him interact with this Peter Parker. But then when obviously that's the first half of this movie. It's the setup to Doctor Strange. Then him hanging out with basically like this Sinister Six. And then the second half, that's what I didn't think they were going to be in it this much, is when Tobey comes in, Andrew Garfield comes in, and they're really bonding in this movie. Their chemistry was so good. And I think the reveals were great. Did a part of me want like Tobey coming in with his theme song and like helping? Maybe. But
the way he comes in makes sense.
For the story, this makes sense. And what I really like is that this doesn't feel like they take away from Tom Holland's moment. Tom Holland is so good in this that it's his movie the whole way. And that's what I was saying before in the non-spoiler section. The fact that there's no MCU like heaviness in here. This is about Peter, his story, what he's going through with all these villains, and he has to like just get through it. He has to go through the shit and just get through it. And he has nobody there to help him. And the fact that Tobey and Andrew come in, but they come in as like these mentors.
Yeah.
Like they had a purpose. That was so cool. So when Tobey and Andrew came in, it wasn't how I was expecting, but it was so cool. When they opened the portal by accident, it's Andrew Garfield.
He's like, look, he's like,
that was so good. That was so good.
He waves, he comes in.
And then Tobey, I was a little confused with Tobey just being dressed normal, kind of coming in.
Again, because he's not as, he said.
He's like, older. He had it under his suit.
Yeah.
Like under his outfit. He had the suit under his outfit. He's a little bit more he's older, wiser.
Yeah. Yeah, he said like in the movie, he says like he doesn't really walk around and like, promoting.
Yeah.
Like
So good. And then I think the big twist that I think nobody saw coming, I didn't see coming, was Aunt May dying. That was big. She gives the, great power, great responsibility line, and she dies. I did not see that coming. We thought like, oh, but is somebody going to die in this?
I didn't think her.
I thought maybe Happy or something, but no, like it was her.
And the way
it was Goblin that did it too.
And the way she dies, I was like, wow.
They went there, and that was so good.
Again, because what, mistake so big that can make Peter Parker
fall apart like that.
Fall apart like that.
Yeah.
Remember, because it was his idea to try to help him.
Yeah.
It's again, and was it Connors?
Yeah, he told him like there's consequences to all this.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
So good. Also, I think the fight scene with him and Doctor Strange, all that was cool. And I liked because we were worried about Doctor Strange being kind of dumb in this movie.
But that scene was completely different.
It was completely different, and the fact that he was like, okay, we're done here. We got to send them back. And they did, they fought, and then he sent him off, and then he was able to try to do his plan anyway.
Yeah.
That was really well done. And the third act, I mean, so crazy,
epic.
man.
Just epic.
You have all three of them together
working as a team,
and their chemistry was so good. Toby being Toby, like we really got to see each of their versions come to life together. Like we had Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
Oh man, it's just like thinking about it. It's just shit.
They really wrote it so well because when Toby was saying his lines, that felt like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
Yeah, like
then Andrew Garfield felt like Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, and then Tom Holland is Tom Holland. So like them just seeing them kind of like counter each other. They did science together and like trying to fix the cures, and then fighting together.
His scenes were so good.
He really stood out.
Like he stood out. Like
they redeemed his character in this
a lot.
because
and you know what? And it's to show you if he just had good writers.
If he had a good creative crew behind him for his movies, he could have done something great.
Funny.
He was funny.
He was very good with his comedy.
And his acting is so good. His emotional level.
Man,
tears.
He just turns it on.
He was great.
When he was talking about when he couldn't save
Gwen,
her. He couldn't save Gwen. He just started crying on cue.
Yeah.
He just started.
Or that scene when he saves MJ. That was such a good scene. Tom Holland couldn't make it.
I remember in the trailer, it was filmed exactly like.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I was like, man, if they're in this, that's got to be a part where maybe.
And I love that part. Like Tom Holland gets hit by Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And then it's like he jumps, he dies. So good.
Everybody was like, yes,
because he did not want to go through that again.
Yeah.
Or better,
seeing him go through that.
He didn't want Tom Holland to go through
what he went through.
Yeah, because there was another scene previous when they're doing all that science stuff. He was looking at Tom Holland and her have the little moment,
and he was just kind of watching.
He was just kind of like, damn, like he couldn't say the one that he
wanted.
They
have to bring them back because Andrew Garfield, like, oh, you guys, I always wanted brothers. Like their chemistry was so good.
He's more open. He's more
he was more open about it. Yeah, like just you guys are like my brothers. Yeah, he was like really excited about having other Spider-Man, but it makes sense with his character though, Yeah. And then Toby's just very like, just Toby,
quiet.
Or like when he was seeing Andrew Garfield look at Tom Holland with Zendaya, he was like, "Oh, do you have someone?" And like you kind of got like that wisdom from Toby, Like he'll look at him and like, "What's going on?"
The best part was when he stops Tom Holland from killing Green Goblin.
Yeah, but by the way, seeing Tom Holland go that like his Peter Parker go that dark, which of course he killed Aunt May, and he that fight scene with Green Goblin, so amazing.
Oh, talking about the hotel.
Well, both the hotel, the apartment, and the ending. Both.
Dude, that hotel apartment
But when Toby stops him, such a good scene.
Such a good scene.
Man.
What I will say about that scene.
And no dialogue. He just
looked
at him like, look what you're doing. So good. Tobey Maguire did really good in this.
He's like, all right,
I'll bring it back. Again. I'll bring it back.
All right, fine. I'll try.
He was probably excited to do it because he never got to do 4.
The money.
Yeah.
The money.
And apparently, what we were talking about before the podcast.
No, because what I noticed when I first when I was watching, when Toby stops the what's it called, the glider?
The glider,
glider, and he gets stabbed. the way it was filmed, it was very similar. I could be wrong, but it was very similar to Spider-Man 3 when James Franco dies.
Yeah.
In the sense of when he's holding his hand and they're all there like watching, like, they're watching their best friend die and the sun is setting. It was very similar in that sense.
I feel like there was another scene or like an extra shot there where they're with him when he's about to die.
And he's like, all right,
But apparently the rumor...
Because I don't know, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, man.
He's going to die.
Like I don't know. It was filmed very, very similar to
Spider-Man 3. I thought he was going to die right there.
And it was like his Logan send-off.
Yeah. Like that was his...
Like he passed on his wisdom to the new... Spider-Man, and he stopped him from going down this dark path.
And then they like changed their mind. And apparently the rumor is Kevin Feige loved their chemistry so much that they reshot it so that he doesn't die.
Their chemistry was good.
So that they can bring him back. Because apparently they want to bring him back. Man, I mean, they did do some great stuff in this movie.
Man, they imagine doing another solo film.
They did so good.
Sam Raimi comes back to do a Spider-Man 4.
I don't know, but they did great in this. But that I feel like that's.
But that's the.
It was noticeable. It was very noticeable.
Was the
vibe
I got when I first saw it, because like it was very similar to Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
When what's his name?
Harry Osborn. Yeah.
When he dies.
It was cool seeing Andrew and Toby and like it's just.
I just didn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't.
It still doesn't feel right.
I saw a picture on Twitter and it's like them like when he's
helping him up. Yeah.
And it's like. What? It's them too, or when they all like say bye, they also like it's just weird. It's weird.
They gotta bring him. And Tom Holland does say, "See you guys around."
No, was that
see
Toby?
You around? No, Tom says it to both of them. So I think if he was supposed to die, they like cut that out. They got him together.
The chemistry was good.
I think Kevin Feige saw that,
and the jokes that they were making. Oh, I'm Peter. I'm Spider-Man 1, year 2, and year 3.
Yeah, they really acknowledged Andrew Garfield being like the lower,
no one really like his movies.
Yeah, like they weren't as good. I liked him as Peter Parker Spider-Man, but his movies just weren't, as good as the other ones. So, but I like how the movie acknowledges that, and it's like Andrew Garfield kind of joking with that.
Yeah.
When
he's sitting there and he was,
that
I'm
was
lame,
cool.
I'm this, I'm that.
Hey, and so Toby's like, "Where's that self-talk?" Like that was good.
Stop that.
That was so good.
Oh man, that's funny.
So good. And then the ending, the spell.
The spell thing is where it gets a little weird.
Because man, everybody forgets him.
No, but like forgets Peter Parker.
That's a bittersweet ending. That ending hit hard. That ending hit more for me.
And that whole scene when he's saying goodbye to his friends, to Ned and
so good.
MJ, that is good.
That was so good.
Like the way it was shot.
And again, just well acted.
Lens flare. You always, what's it called?
Yeah.
Lens flare. You always gotta get that. It makes it very cinematic.
And the way it was, the acting. I gotta say, this ending hit harder for me than Endgame. And Iron Man dies in Endgame. That was an emotional scene.
This one is just
but this was so emotional.
Even the scene when Aunt May dies. Man, I love that shot of him in the rain.
Oh yeah.
It felt
very dark.
It felt very Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like in 2049 when Ryan Gosling's looking at the like that what's it,
him
the
and standing in the rain.
And then like the wide shot of him like standing in the rain. It's just like him talking.
And Jameson like the news all over.
And just saying he's a villain. He's this. He's done.
That was
a good shot. That was
great
shot.
Stuff, man.
Yeah, because he was gone for a while. He was just up there in that building.
Yeah, he was.
But one thing was the ending when he was beating the crap out of Green Goblin.
A little blood would have been nice.
I didn't like that there was no blood.
He was doing so like the scene was going so great, but when I saw there was no blood, I was like, oh.
Yeah, like I don't know. It was after when they cured him. He was like, if he didn't even get hit.
Yeah.
Like a little cuts or something,
I didn't like that because it took me away from it.
It did. It kind of took me away. I was like, wait a minute, he was beating it. Like, I love that. He was just boom.
Yeah, that was dark. But then if he's beating him up, that he should have had blood on him.
That's the thing. He wasn't pulling his punches because there was one part where he punched through the shield.
Yeah.
Now how the Statue of Liberty, they're building that shield, he punched through it.
Yeah.
Like he just slammed through it. Boom.
Yeah, that was cool. And then Toby and Andrew are watching him.
That was to show you, like, he wasn't, like, he wanted to kill them.
Yeah.
He wanted to tear him apart.
And then Toby and Andrew are looking at him like, oh, no, you know? That was cool.
And then, man, he picks up Green Goblin and just slams them.
Yeah.
That's just like Parker, like, people, like, he can go.
Yeah. They should have been some blood on there.
Like when he falls to the floor, he picks him back up just to keep hitting him over and over. But again, which is weird because everyone else has blood on them. So that's why it's like, why?
Just a little blood. Because it did take me away. I was like, oh, shit. And then
that was the only little like thing that bothered me because it took me out of the scene a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see, like, in Spider-Man 1, when Green Goblin was beating the crap out of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's, like, spitting out blood. He's, like, his mask is half broken.
They should have done at least a little bit of blood. At least a little bit.
You know, that was cool.
But he was doing all that, and when they showed his face again, I was like, oh.
It's like if they didn't even fight.
Yeah.
Just weird.
Yeah, that took me out a little bit.
Costume, though. I love that wasteland look. That was cool.
So good.
And also, I do like how they did with Venom.
Yeah.
The post-credit scene.
Two post-credit scenes. There's
the main one is the Venom one with Tom Hardy. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So what happens basically is that, like, he's there talking. Wait, there's superheroes in this one. Yeah. But they get sent back to their to their place. They get sent back, but the
symbiote stays behind.
But yeah, there's that little piece, so that's
in their universe.
Either they're gonna bring Tom Hardy, but it's a different version. Or
no, that's Venom. Like that symbiote's gonna take over somebody else, and then Eddie Brock in his universe.
Well, it's not Tom Hardy.
But it won't be Tom Hardy. So
that makes sense because
I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that.
Honestly, his movies are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what they're doing with that.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
So what the hell did then? How's Michael Keaton and Morbius?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. Morbius and Michael Keaton are gonna be in.
Unless Morbius is just in his universe.
Yeah, like they're just building him up.
In his
universe. And he'll be one of the villains.
I didn't know that because they literally show Spider-Man in the background.
But that was like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
No, but it says
Murderer. But that looked like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
No, but it's just a paint.
Or maybe that's post. I don't know, but everybody forgets. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see Morbius and find out. But
yeah, but I think it's that because Keaton. Remember, Michael Keaton said he is filming some stuff.
But so then that means Michael Keaton forgets who Peter Parker, Spider-Man is.
No, Peter Parker. He forgets that Peter Parker is, but he doesn't know who Spider-Man is. I said it completely wrong. Because the thing is, he finds out that in Homecoming,
yeah.
He finds out that he's Spider-Man because the girlfriend, fucking just saying out loud that he's always missing in random places.
But the spell at the end of the movie,
it's only Peter Parker though.
Yeah, everybody who knows Peter is gonna forget Peter Parker.
Yeah, so he doesn't know who Peter Parker is.
Yeah, Michael Keaton would forget.
Yeah, he forgets.
So, what would be his motive after that?
Yeah, but he never really hated. Like after the end of Homecoming, he saved them. He saved them from dying, and he never in that prison scene.
Oh, they asked. Oh, so you know?
He's like, no, I don't. Like, he says something similar. He's like, no, like.
But then
he wanted to because he saved him, so he wanted to help him out. So, but if they want to bring
Morbius,
him as a villain and Vulture.
How would?
But again, now
he forgets.
He forgets who he is. Like, oh wait, who's this guy? And messing with our business. Or
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
And this other guy was Scorpion, the one who asked, "Oh, do you know who Peter Parker is?" That's Scorpion. Right?
So they're setting up. Scorpion.
He was Scorpion. So they're setting
up that whole thing. Yeah.
That whole thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you knew who he was,
he wouldn't probably do anything.
He would not fight him. Why would he fight him?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, even that Captain America shield breaks. Like everything about this movie symbolizes that it's a reset.
It's
normal.
It's a hard reset.
Like a normal New York City.
Because I love the ending with him. Just swinging around, chilling. But with the classic Spider-Man.
Yeah, he made his own suit.
Yeah, he's not using the Tony Stark suit no more.
Yeah.
That again, I think
it's very bittersweet. Very bittersweet.
It's a hard reset. It's a new chapter, new trilogy.
It's evolving.
Which is I needed that. Now he can finally
because that's it. There's nothing else for him in the MCU right now. Tony Stark is dead.
He's gonna go fly.
But Tony Stark
again to
that's the thing. That only happened in Infinity War, and that was because
he had to.
He wasn't even supposed to go.
Yeah, that's the thing. He went he just
he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But Tony Stark is dead. Aunt May is dead. What else is it? He doesn't have any sort of interaction with any of these new MCU characters coming around.
I think was
so it's the best
with
move.
Ed and MJ, I think they're gone.
Yeah, maybe.
I think this is a hard reset. So I feel like Happy, all those people are gone. That's it. Their stories are wrapped.
Yeah.
That's it. His friends go to
MIT.
They go there. They don't know who Peter Parker is. They don't even know him at all. Because that's where I got confused because at the beginning, they forgot he was Spider-Man. Yeah. But at the end of the movies, it's like if they don't know who Peter Parker is.
We need to just have everybody forget Peter Parker because all the villains are coming in.
Completely. So that means Ed forgets who he is.
Yeah.
Everyone. That makes sense. I wonder if Aunt May would have been affected if she lived.
But in Zendaya in that scene, she was looking at him like...
Well, he was acting weird.
No. But when he leaves... Like, she kind of thought about it. Like, she was trying to, like, think about it for a second. Like, if... It was almost like if she's like, do I know him from somewhere? I don't know.
I guess we just have to wait and see what they say about the next film. But I feel like you just start fresh. Bring in, like, a Mary Jane. Or I saw on YouTube, maybe bring in, like, a Black Cat.
Yeah.
Bring out Black Cat now. There we go. We got the Mary Jane. We got the Gwen Stacy. Maybe we see like a live action Black Cat.
Yeah.
Because she's the only one that hasn't been in the movies. She was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but barely.
Yeah, that movie had a little bit of everybody. It just didn't last.
Was shit. So I feel like maybe as this new trilogy, we'll probably see a Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
Like you'll see Harry Osborn. It's a new Spider-Man thing. Man, Spider-Man is killing it right now.
Spider-Man is always
because you have the Miles Morales game, the Spider-Man like that whole universe,
the Spider-Verse movies,
the now Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna watch it again as soon as possible. It's a lot to take in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. Feel free to like, subscribe. Let us know what you thought of the movie. God, it's so crazy. So crazy. I still can't process it.
Even though it was leaked to hell.
Yeah. I still can't process it. But
man, all those leaks were real.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Till the next one.